Hi everyone. We're starting work again. A new project, also a deck, but this time it will be a completely wooden deck. There won't be any plastic this time. It'll be all wood. The situation here is wild. There used to be a deck in this spot. There was a deck here. But then a hurricane came through here. A tree fell. It broke the siding a bit over there, but most of the damage was to the deck. It collapsed and broke apart. A couple of days ago, we took it apart and cleaned up because it was a real mess here. We dismantled it, dug 5 holes, and poured the concrete. Piles, footings, concrete, whatever you want to call it, for the supports, for the posts, and then we started building. So, from here to there, that's a length of 28 feet. That's about 12 and a half meters, roughly. Now we're going to attach a board they're called a ledger board, and from that we'll set the height. We'll use a laser to get the height, so we can cut and install the posts at the right level. The height. The height of the posts is exactly 19 inches lower than the highest point, which is measured from this top point. In other words, starting from this topmost point, the posts are positioned at a level that is 19 inches below it. What? Because this kind of board, is 9.5 inches thick. It will be supported, meaning it's called a beam, which will rest on these posts. And on top of that, there will be joists on which the decking boards will be laid, and together they add up to 19 inches. That's why these posts, along with the mounting hardware, are 19 inches shorter, lower than the top point of this ledger board. So, the posts are in place, and now we're going to put the deck support on these posts. It's called a beam. Right now, we're going to let it stick out here. Then we'll let it stick out on that side and that side a bit longer, and later we'll cut it to the exact length we need, depending on how much we want it to extend. This is how we're fastening the boards together. There will be a second row here, and then a third one as well. All right, the support is already in place, the beam. That's what I mentioned earlier. So, there are 3 rows, and here, just to make sure the size matches these metal brackets, we added a 3/4 board as well. The beam has 5 nails on each side, as you can see, every 16 inches. The entire beam is nailed like this, and the same goes for the other side. Every 16 inches, plus it's also fastened with these black screws that are 4.5 inches long. Here, too, the board is nailed to the wall every 16 inches, with 5 nails every 16 inches. And later on, we'll also add those black screws to secure this board really well to the wall, so it holds firmly. All right, now everything is ready. We take a board like this and we're going to lay it on top, perpendicular, every 16 inches. Just like that, half of it is already laid out and carefully and securely fastened, all nailed together. This is what the base of the deck looks like, where the railings and the finished board will be installed later. All right, hi there. Today is the second day of our work. Let's get started. Now we're going to install these metal fasteners. Roman, and these braces will need to be installed along the entire length, because the distance between these supports here is 12 feet. And if the length is more than 8 feet, it means you need to put these kinds of braces along the deck. Roman. Attachment here to the wall. Attachment on the support. And these, called dividers, connect the boards together in the middle. Now we're going to set up the posts. We'll mark out the measurements there in the middle. And here, we need to divide it into equal parts. And here as well. There will be stairs in the front here. That will come later. Right now, we're working on the posts. Roman, yes, we've already installed the posts. We've already calculated everything. The posts are in place. We installed the posts all the way to the bottom because the bottom will be covered with special wood. Yes, the height of the posts is 36 inches. Almost all the posts are done. Just 3 of them need to be cut. They haven't been cut yet, otherwise every post goes all the way down. Here, we nail it like this so it holds. These are dividers, so that when the board is put on later, it sits properly and can be screwed in securely, so nothing breaks off anywhere, since it will be cut around the post. So every post is like this, processed this way and holds really well. Around the perimeter, the decking will go, and then an additional board will be added all the way around. It gets nailed on, and it's installed after the posts are in place. First, we set up the posts, and then we add this. It's called the fascia deck. We've already put the board around the deck, so it looks like this. Here's the bottom one. And the side fascia. So now the deck base is done. Now we're starting the flooring from that side. It's called decking. Roman, so we've already brought up the board. This will be the floorboard for this deck. It's 1 inch thick. It's pretty smooth. It's been treated just like all the other wood in the fall. So we're going to lay it down. Since the deck is 28 feet long and our boards are 16, we'll use 2 pieces and join them together. So evening is already approaching. We've screwed in 4 rows. The boards fit tightly together without any gaps. They're fresh, still wet. Later, in a month, 2 or 3, depending on the weather, they'll dry out and gaps about 1/4 of an inch wide will appear. That's it. Here, you see, it fits snugly. It's fastened with 2 screws each time. 2, 2, like this. Every 16 inches, the board is screwed in, attached to this board. That board is fastened with these star head screws. The screws are 2.5 inches long. Roman, so today is the 3rd day of work. We're continuing to lay the floor, the decking boards, and working on the stairs here. How do you build the stairs? You can check it out. There's already a video on the channel. Like I said yesterday, the boards go right up against each other, but sometimes a board can be warped, thinner, or just different. So to make sure everything fits nicely, we have this tool called a borench. It even says so right on it. You clamp it, and then there are no gaps at all. Roman, hi everyone. It's already 7:30 in the morning today, and it's the 4th day of work. And now the boards are almost all laid, just 2 more rows left. Basically, some parts have already been cut out. Right now, our task is to remove this siding and install flashing so that when it rains, the water doesn't get in. So that water doesn't get onto the wall. That's the kind of flashing we'll need to make. Later, we'll trim those boards at the edges. We'll mark everything along the line, and I'll show you everything. Let's go. That's it. We've marked the line, and now we'll cut straight along it. The others were sticking out for the decking. Just like over here, the other side was sticking out as well. This is what it looks like when it's trimmed. Right here, near the house, there's a flashing made of copper. Here, it goes up and down, so when water gets in, it won't go under the house, but will just run off. That's the idea. So for anyone doing this kind of work, I recommend it to everyone so the house doesn't start to rot, especially if it's made of wood. That's the idea. And now we're already laying down the next board. And that's it. Now we're starting to make the railings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on the stairs 9, 10. 10 sections, 2 small ones and 8 regular ones. So we're going to make railings for 10 sections now. We've already made these kinds of railings. Now we're sending them on. Now we're going to install the balusters. And that's how it looks. All right, let's keep going. Now, on top, we're putting on a board like this. Just like that. Here we cut it at a 45-degree angle. Ours isn't screwed in yet, so we set it at 45 and keep going like that. Now the top board is in place. This is the sander we use to sand the top like this. This kind of sandpaper. And here we are on the 4th day of work. The deck is finished. This is how it looks. Only the gate is left to install. It's been sanded. Everything is just as it should be. The size of the deck is 14 feet by 28. That's about probably 12.5 meters by 4 meters in size, or something close to that, just to give you a rough idea of the dimensions we're talking about here. So today is the 5th day of building this deck, this balcony. Today we covered up this lower part. Earlier, I showed why we lowered the posts all the way down. And this is how it looks from a distance. Now it's completely finished, fully covered to the end. Here we made this little gate, or whatever else you might call it. On the inside, it locks with a latch. Here is the middle. From the middle, it all looks like this. There you go. Today, we also added these central posts so that everything would be nice and sturdy, like this. And that's it. This is our gate, which closes. Just like that, it's closed. The client wanted it to open from the inside, so there's a handle here, just like it should be. So, in 5 days, we built this kind of deck. So give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, and you won't miss a single video. You'll see a lot more new stuff coming up. Bye, everyone. Give us a like.